Welcome back to the BCS 2023 World Finals for Weichwarts. And we just finished round number 4. We're heading into round number 5 very soon.
Yep.
And it seems like we have a repeat customer over here.
Yep. 2one2ded is back with his quintessential quintuplets deck, specifically the Nino build. But he will be paired against a brand new opponent using a title which we have not seen on stream yet, surprisingly, actually.
Yeah,
I think
actually.
it's one of the more popular titles
Yeah, we
within the
expected
tournament
it
in
to be
general. Yeah.
very high representation,
Uh-huh.
and I think it is high representation.
Yeah, I think it's
but
like the second or third most represented title overall.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
HOL Life if you haven't guessed it.
Yep.
Mhm.
Alright.
So,
we should be able to dive right into it, and let's see how we're going.
And so on our left we have Ryoshun playing HoloLife Production. He is on a Calliope Gura list. I haven't
Yep.
seen that too much before.
I think it's sort of like the intended design. I think they're in the same generation of HoloLive release. HoloLive, I don't know what the term is. HoloLive groups. So it does seem like the designer's deck, but I think that the reason Standby is more popular is just because Choice is a myth for Gura's Soul Icon checks. But this deck is competent on its own as well, so I think we won't be missing out on very much just because it's not Standby.
Yeah, the Mori Calliope Climax combo has usually only been used for being a level 1 with a trigger.
yeah. In the Standby build, it is absolutely just a vanilla with a trigger, which is funny how like it's more like you just ignore all of this text written on it because the combo itself is actually not bad. You know, it's a level 1 5/5 on both turns, and you can salvage a level X or lower, I think.
Yeah,
Yep.
you get to know a couple of cards.
Yeah.
That's a pretty solid card.
So yeah. Anyhow, so I think he Ryoshun is just attacked with level 0 Aqua in the middle with 3/5 power. He triggered a gate, but I don't think he had a climax in the waiting room. So yeah, just a standard attack.
And it seems like it got cancelled on the right side.
Yep.
And we're starting off blazing with a 1-1 standby.
Yep. And 2one2ded does his classic standby in the front row play, which the 3 lands. So if this direct attack lands, that might hurt a little bit, but and he triggers the level 3 combo, which means that is also a standby, and he can bring out another 1/1 again to the front row.
To the front
And
row,
it cancels, alright, so it looks like this is going to pay off pretty grandly.
Yeah, however, he did not manage to clear the Aqua in the middle.
Yeah.
So that is an extra plus that that Ryoshun has been getting for free.
Yeah. But I think going first in your card coming back is from the from the going second point of view, it's not that much of a deal as long as you get to keep your own cards. I think catching up is more important from 2one2ded's point of view here. So he's probably not too phased about it, just, I don't know, maybe a bit mildly annoyed that it came back, but anyhow.
And Ryoshun on the left preparing one of the Mori Calliope combos.
Yeah.
It seems... What is your opinion about the standby to the front on the trigger?
I think it was kind of risky, because if that 3 landed, it might have meant that 2one2ded loses both of his level 1s, which admittedly he can just encore them back, but
yeah,
it is still like a -2 that you didn't really need to take, so...
Oh, and there's one of the level 1 climaxes.
Alright.
So
I would guess that based on that he has another one in his hand, or otherwise it just seems a bit risky that he plays it here. Or risky in the sense that like, it might not return any value.
And with this extra soul, he will be able to push a lot more damage this turn. But do you actually want to push damage at this point?
I don't think it's... Like, if it was a free investment, then yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But I don't know I don't know if it's really worth the additional 1 card, but at the same time, his... I was about to say his level 0 just came back. But he also wasn't able to use its ability, so...
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah. I guess they're, because it came back and then he clocked on twice, he had 11 cards plus. And then he had 3 out on the front, so... He would have lost the card anyway. He has 7 cards right now in hand.
I think I kind of would have liked a side attack over there just now. But
just so you can go to more hand by using the Aqua's ability, right?
So you could still use Aqua ability, so you could still you could take less damage with it, which is probably a good thing against a standby deck.
Yeah.
But he does. What's the Nino combo on reverse?
Yes, it's on. It gains on attack on reverse salvage. On top of on attack, check top 2, keep 1.
Mm-hmm.
So this brainstorm hits 1.
So I guess attacking into it did deny a reverse.
Yeah, it did. But I think in that case I probably would have just moved the aqua to the side even. Oh no, but in that case it wouldn't have fought. It wouldn't have fought the 2K. So I guess this is the only way of doing it.
Yeah.
So it does dodge a reverse, but it's a toss up, right? Like it could while it does give 2one2ded a card, it may also give you 2 cards. So depending on how much Ryoshun wanted to get that card, it might have been okayer, but
Yeah, it does make sure that you're like equal in life.
yeah.
So that's a good thing at least.
Anyhow, so that one's gonna be for 2, which cancels. It's alright.
I would feel
Oh.
safer in 212 seat at this point.
Yeah, I think he's in a decent spot. He has his. He's
That's
able to get a 2-2 out. I think there's one more in the waiting room. Yep. He's got
Yeah.
2 2-2s out. And he's got 2 1-1s, which you can all-call as well.
This is basically the ideal start, I think, for
Yeah.
212.
Pretty much.
So
I guess one minor inconvenience is that he's probably going to have to pay 2 stock to get 1 out of his stock again, but
right.
that's not too much of a issue.
Yeah, there's enough costed cards in standby decks usually
Yeah.
to kind of pay out. But sometimes you just don't want to, right?
Interestingly, he triggers the standby hit, the level 3 hit.
Yeah, it seems like he just wants to deal more soul damage.
Yeah, but I guess he needs to pay 2 stock anyway.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
it's not really much of an issue that he chose to stock the card. And then, alright, so
Ryoshun is entering his turn with probably 2 climax combos and the climax corresponding to it.
yeah, I think so.
These don't get strong enough to beat the 1-1 Ninos, right?
She's 5,500 power on her own, and then she gains 1,000 from the climax as well. And because the level 1 Ninos are only 6,500 in defense, they at least contest the level 1s. So I think it's fine for now, and he's also used the level 0 Hato to colloquially known as stun the 2-2 in the back row, so I can't move to a different position next turn. So I think this is probably an alright turn. Oh yeah, and he's played the level 1 Iroha Brainstorm in the back row, which gives 1,500 power to the middle,
Okay.
only on offense, but it means he doesn't have to open a direct attack lane on that turn. So
Yeah,
I think, yeah, this is probably a solid turn given the build.
he's already prepping one of his Guras here. I guess he couldn't find another combo, or do you think he wouldn't want to find another combo at this point?
I think it's probably not worth finding another combo just to get a plus, because it means the level 0 Hato in the front row is not really doing anything either.
Level 0 Hato will be able to crash
Yeah.
at some point. And now
That's
it's
3
time to
lines.
hit 3. I wonder if he's going to opt to side attack over here.
I think it's better to front the middle, and then if the 2 lands, you can front the last one as well. Try and hit 200 to 2 and 0, which admittedly does give him a power spike, but he's already kind of got a decent board anyway, so it's not really a big deal.
This climate combo is kind of interesting. It's like you can mill up to 4 cards
Yeah,
and then salvage based off of it.
yeah. I think it's a slightly, probably it's nerfed version of the level 1 combo from Rascal Does Not Dream of a Dreaming Girl, where that one counts level just the number of characters you mill in 3. This one counts the number of cards with soul icons, but it lets you mill an additional card. I think on average that one probably is able to get slightly stronger cards, but
Especially in a deck with this many triggers,
yeah,
I think it's very likely to actually hit level 3s.
Yeah.
Or reasonably likely at least.
yeah. And as we say that he has added a level 3 to his hand, I think that is the level 3 early play Noel, which has the, yeah, it can be early played, I think if your opponent has a level 3? Sorry, no, if you have 2 or fewer climaxes, and then when it's played you can It gains 4,500 until the end of the opponent's turn, as well as the ability where neither player can back up during its battles. And then, also when it attacks, you can pay 2 to mill the bottom 3 cards of the opponent's deck, and then if there's a climax among them, it deals damage. I think, interestingly, Ryoshun is playing 3 copies of this card, which is fairly unusual, I think, in Gura decks. I think most Gura decks don't even play 1, but 3 is quite high on that scale.
Do you think it's often used to actually use the finishing ability? It sounds kind of expensive, right?
It's a bit costly, but it's an option that you can use maybe once per game. I think probably it's just that it's very good at dealing with your opponent's early play kind of cards. So against 2one2ded, I think he salvaged it so he can deal with the 2/2 in the front row without being countered.
Right. It's pretty good at winning board, at least.
Yeah, it is definitely good.
You got a 14k. They can't use backups, and next turn they probably need to crash into it.
Yeah, most likely. And even if they don't, they probably needed to invest a reasonable amount of resources into dealing with the card.
Yeah. However, it does cost you stock, and
Yeah.
one thing Gura players love to do is just cash up a lot of stocks.
Yeah, and on top of that, this deck is not playing the level 2 Amelia Watson, which is often used in Gura decks to generate stock at level 2 when you get reverses.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this deck is mostly just going to be generating stock by attacking triggering choices and by using this level 0 Amane Kanata, which can stock up to 2 cards from hand when it's played. But again, that is a much bigger investment than just stock 1 and then you get blind stock 2 when you reverse. So I think Ryoshun is going to have to plan out his resources a lot more carefully than a lot of other Gura players would.
Yeah, a lot of with standby Gura, it's usually you only need to have like 8 stock or 6 stock based on how many Guras you already standbyed out.
Yes.
Assuming you want triple Gura.
Uh-huh.
But in this case, I actually don't think it's very likely to do triple Gura at all in this
No,
deck.
I don't think so. Also notably, using standby to bring out a Gura is effectively 2 stock.
Yeah.
Which obviously this deck does not have the ability to do. So, yeah, I think we'll probably have to expect a very different sort of game plan at level 2 from this deck compared to the standby variant.
Mm-hmm.
See how that goes.
We'll see how that goes. And we see him refreshing and cancelling off the refresh. That's perfect.
Alright, and 200 is refreshing with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think that was 7 climaxes?
I think it's 8 actually.
Might have been 8? Okay, well, at least 7. So, solid deck refresh, but if it is 8 climax, it means that he doesn't have the combo in his hand, which I think we've worked out from before. But it's quite a bit away probably until 2one2ded hits level 3, so he doesn't really need to sweat it.
2one2ded is already level 2, so his compression isn't amazing probably at this point. Whereas on the other side, Ryoshun is still level 1 and already refreshed.
Yeah.
So it seems like it's slightly Ryoshun favored, but it's hard to tell at this point.
Yeah, it is helpful. I think I would agree with your assessment though.
It's also like an empty board, so yeah, and there's a cancel. One more last attack, and he gets it. Stand by the card that he checked off of the Nino.
Yeah, and that is the Nino that gives 1,500 to all characters in the all characters if she's in the front row.
Yeah, good thing that the Ryoshun has the 14/5, the Nino early play prepared for this.
Mm-hmm.
So he can actually remove this card, whereas usually you would just stare at big 11, 12k walls. Probably.
Yeah. So, while that is the thing though, what I felt about that card is it's nice to have on the board, but you also don't really care if it gets outed, because you just brought it out of a standby anyway, but your opponent paid stock to get rid of it.
Yep.
And it's not actually a necessary part of your endgame. In fact, it's quite often just in the way. It doesn't deal any additional damage. So
it's generally a nice bridge for whenever
Yeah.
you do stand by it out.
I think that's how it kind of feels most of the time. So maybe I would think 2one2ded is actually kind of happy that the Noel's being used to deal with that instead of maybe even the 2-2 over there.
Yeah, sometimes it's just better to ignore the entire board and be like,
Yeah.
okay, I have 8 stock next turn. You better not take too much damage now.
And being on 2 and 4, I think Ryoshun should probably start thinking about how he's going to end the game.
Yeah, and right now he does not have the climax yet, so that's
Yeah.
also one big part of fixing the combo next turn.
Yeah, and not a whole lot of Guras either. But 200 only has 3 hand as well, and not a whole lot of resources, so this could go either way, just depending on how the damage goes in.
This is gonna be a close game. Maybe we'll see Novo actually win a lane. Maybe 2one2ded will find a way to remove it.
So 2, 3. 3 landing is pretty big here. Because the other 2 swings are only for 1. So the 3 basically just is like 2 swings worth of damage, possibly even more.
Yeah.
Which is, adds back a Gura climax.
It is a Gura climax at least, so he's already slightly prepped. He's gonna end on 6 stock, I think. So that will be a double Gura angle.
Yeah. But that is only if he has all the Guras in his hand, but I don't think he does.
I think he had at least 1 in his hand at the moment.
We saw 2 go to the waiting room from the clock though, so
Yeah.
not a whole lot. Oh, that's a bit of annoying. Level 3 and 1, but
Yeah, it's not the worst. 2one2ded can probably just play another 1 from hand. He
yeah.
most likely has one of the healers. So
But I think 200 should probably be thinking about how he's going to end the game. Probably the next 2 turns, including this one.
yeah, I don't think it's this turn yet.
Yeah.
I think he just wants to find a way to compress as hard as possible to survive the Gura onslaught.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't know how many Guras are in Ryoshun's hand, right?
Yeah. I think by process of elimination though, he knows that it's not. Well, he knows he can't do triple anyway based on the stock count.
And he ends up grabbing a 2-1 Nino counter.
Oh, interesting. Okay, the 2-1 counter. So let me find this. Yeah. Okay. So he got the counter to. Yeah. Alright, so it's a 2-5 counter, and as an additional text, when you use the backup effect, you can pay 1 and discard 1 if you have 5 Ninos, and if you do, you can deal 2 damage to your opponent. So looks like he's setting up for using that plus maybe the back row level 3, and then maybe his combo to end the game.
I wonder if he's going to actually try. No, he's not trying to finish right now. He's just attacking.
But he might be able to incidentally win. This stack order seems a little bit risky, because he needs 5 characters in order to use the additional text on the... Okay.
Oh, wow. He's already at 3-4 right now?
I was going to say, he could have attacked the middle with the red 2-2 instead and just hand encore it if he doesn't trigger a standby here.
There's no way he dies here, right?
Who knows?
That's another attack for 3.
Okay,
and that is a cancel at least.
So yeah, now 2one2ded has to think about paying 3 to encore the middle just if he wants to use the counter, but honestly, it doesn't really seem worth it. However, if he had jump attack at the red 2-2, he could fairly comfortably hand on call that one to maintain the 5 board necessary for the condition of the counter. So, well,
He does seem like he's in a pretty decent state to cancel some Gargura attacks. And on our left, I don't think it's very easy to heal down from 3-4.
no, I think this is absolutely the final turn for Ryoshun. So
yeah, and he finds another 2 climaxes in his clock draw. That's not really what you wanted in that position.
yeah.
Only 1 Gargura in hand. Is there a way to find another one, or are we going to rely on choice triggers to do a double combo here?
I think he has to if he's going to go for it. The alternative is that if he gets lucky with the ability of Noel and hits a climax there, ideally multiple just to, even though it only burns 1 regardless, it just means that they're not on the top. But he just needs to land 7. I don't think we can expect 2-1-2 dead to run out of deck this turn. But
maybe it's gonna be a close game. One thing that's kind of scary is that this. Oh no, wait. This Nino counter that he grabbed actually doesn't do anything right now.
Yeah,
It's
so
just a power counter.
Yeah, it's just a power counter at the moment. So, honestly, Ryoshun could probably have just clocked there, but maybe he forgot about the 5-card condition.
Oh no, he did clock.
Oh, sorry, he did
just
clock.
healed it away.
Yeah, he went from 3-3 to 3-4. Yeah. But yeah, I don't. He doesn't need to worry about that card because 2one2ded no longer has 5 characters on the board. And
He does hit another brainstorm, so it was pretty unfortunate that he took that much damage last turn.
yeah. Okay, so wait, he got the counter, which probably means he has another Gura, and then yeah, he can go double combo then.
Okay.
And we tend to forget, but Gura actually requires you to have 6 or less hand in order to pay the cost. So I think that was actually a good way of getting rid of the additional hand that he had, so he could meet the condition.
He's putting 2 of his cards in his stock.
So he's using that card to use the drop salvage ability, so he can pay on discard 1 to get the Gura.
To get his second Gura and make sure
Yep.
he has enough stock to do the double Gura combo from here. So that's perfect.
Notably, that Flare level 0 does have the additional ability to pay 2 to return the opponent's character to hand. So if Ryoshun really wanted to dodge the counter that we have on the screen at the moment, he could have paid 2 to bounce, but that would mean 1 fewer instance of Gura. So yeah, I think the decision to not put the red 2-2 in the middle last time did make Ryoshun's life quite a bit easier.
Either way, he did manage to heal down a little bit, so
Yeah.
so the burn counter wouldn't matter either way. But it's always good to keep it in mind.
Yeah.
There's a couple of side attack options on board as well.
Yeah.
I wonder what the correct sequence is here, because you get at least a burn 2. You get a burn 2 and then 2, possibly
Yeah.
2 burn 1s.
I think you should.
Would you go for double side attack? Like
I would just swing with Null
base
first.
based on the Null swing.
See what happens there, but I think it's better to front with the first Gura and then see if you should side the next one. But if the Null sticks, then that's 4 damage, and then fronting for 3 is probably better than like side for 1 than 2 on 1. But oh, looks like he's doing the front first. Interesting. I thought he would direct first, but I guess he might want to. He wanted to save the option for using Null, possibly. So the burn 2 stops.
Maybe he had a guaranteed trigger on bottom to guarantee the burn 1 off of the Gura.
Yeah, maybe. I guess yeah. By counting his cards, he would be able to work that one out. But I guess it's not a big difference because even with the other order of attacks, you probably would have fronted one of the Guras anyway. And he doesn't really need to worry about counters at the moment, so
it just decompresses a little bit because of the
yeah,
sequence.
yeah.
So.
But I don't think he's too fussed about that at the moment. He's on 3-5, so to cancel.
Canceling the 2, so now it's
So
gonna
that
be
one
hard
for
to
5?
finish for 5,
If
or
that lands, that's game.
if this is
That
no
is game.
way! Oh wow!
All right.
It managed to finish it with only 3 swings,
Just-
actually,
yeah.
or 2 swings.
Well, 2 actual character swings. Yeah, the last Gura didn't even need to do
Yeah,
anything.
you never even needed it.
Yeah.
The third Gura or the second Gura.
Yeah, all right. So Ryoshun actually managed to get it up to 2 Guras, even though we were a bit unsure whether or not he had all the resources to get to it. But
Yeah.
I think that level 0 Kanata definitely did quite a bit. Like, it gave him 2 stock. It got his hand size down to what he actually needed it to be. So yeah, I think I may have underestimated that card a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's actually probably part of the core plan of the game.
Yeah.
Like being able to convert all the extra pluses that you make with a choice combo into stock. That's probably a very big part of his game plan into most decks, and will catch people off guard if they expect to not get double Gurat, for example.
Yeah, it'll definitely it'll definitely trick you to thinking your opponent doesn't have enough stock. It tricked me for sure. So
Yeah, me too.
yeah, but I guess secret's out of the bag now that he's been on stream. So if you're against him, well, watch out.
Yeah, it was looking very scary though. If he didn't finish from that turn, it would have been
pretty
game over on the other side. Yeah.
Yeah.
But with that, I think this is the end of round 5.
Yep. So we have one more round of Swiss left in the tournament, after which we will be cutting to top 8.
Yeah,
Yeah. So deciding round for quite a lot of players.
very exciting.
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of players that will probably maybe get their third loss in this round and be game over from that point.
Yeah, possibly even bubble it out. But,
Yep.
we'll look forward to that soon and stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned.
Schwartz. Witness the strongest band together on the stage of